All right, we're live.
All right.
Here we are.
All right, well, welcome everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us on our first Facebook Live attempt at sharing our information with you. Today we're going to be talking about our Block for Golf program, and I'm here with my nephew Quinn Castellane and Tamia Barry Gibson. So it was a couple of years ago that I realized that block and golf go hand in hand, and some of the reasons are because golf is a game of patience, and block is a practice of patience, which is really wonderful because it's not about forcing the body to do what we are trying to make it do. It's about allowing the body to be as healthy, open, and spacious as possible. And really, if you think about all of the reasons why you might be struggling with your golf game, it's really about range of motion and restriction getting in the way of that nice fluid swing. And your favorite saying is swing with ease.
Swing with ease, less is more, and you can't do that when you're all tied up with, pain and restrictions. It makes it really hard.
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, we have been working together. I don't know anything about golf, so I went to the experts to find out how can we create the perfect golf program to make it really simple, really efficient, so that you get all of the gains and all of the benefits, not only for your golf game, but also for your health. So we are very excited about our Block for Golf program because we really have taken the time to put everything together to make this the simplest, most amazing golf program on the planet. And we are getting already some amazing feedback from this. So Barry, would you like to share a little bit of your experience with block therapy?
Well, for sure. You know what? I've been a golf professional for 30 years, and throughout those 30 years, I've probably had like 20, 25 years plus of back pain, hip pain, and when I first saw Deanna, I was kind of hobbling in to see her, and I was really at my wit's end because nothing was really giving me any real lasting, long-term relief from the daily pain and the daily back compression. And I've done a lot of stuff, yoga, chiro, physio, and it's all really cool and it's all really good, but there was just that daily pain and restrictions, and it was getting harder just to work, and never mind play golf. Every time I played golf, I felt like I was in a rugby match. I was beat up the next day and sore, and it just wasn't a lot of fun. And then getting into the block, first time I looked at it, I said, you know what, they're crazy. I'm going to lie on a piece of wood here. Is this going to be the answer? And I've been doing it now for a couple of years, and yeah, I'm not perfect, but holy smokes, you know what, the daily pain is gone, the daily back compression's gone. I'm not having like 6 and 7 back episodes a year that are virtually crippling me. You know what, I think this year I had one session and it didn't last very long, and I was able to get on the block and I was able to recover super fast, so it's pretty amazing, and it's really cool. And the nice thing about it, it's not a way. It's not somebody telling you, you got to exercise this way, or you got to swing your club this way, and all that garbage. You know what? It's just about, it fits in to your daily life. It just fits in with whatever you do, whatever training you want to do, whatever coaching you're doing. It complements everything you do. So that's the really cool thing I find about it.
Ah, cool. And Tammy, you've now joined our Block Therapy University teacher training program because you're so excited about sharing this. So what's your experience with block and golf?
Well, like you said, I've become so excited about block therapy that I knew I had to become an instructor, so I'm in the training program right now. I came to the block because I had, through golf, I had recurring hip issues and shoulder issues, and such a tightness through here that, I know it was hampering my backswing, and, Barry's my coach as well as my husband, and, he says, get it into position at the top, and I was always having a hard time, and it's because it was so tight and restricted through here. So I've been working on the block all over the body, but specifically in those areas of restriction and compression, and on my hip. All my hip pain went away this year. This is the first summer where I've had no hip pain playing golf. It's been amazing. I'm hitting the ball further, and my shoulder, it's coming along quite well. I mean, I can tell I need to get real deep in there, but man, it's like 80% better than it was last golf season. But some of the other side benefits that I didn't expect is I lost 8 pounds.
Wow.
I know.
And you didn't need to.
Well, I lost 8 pounds, and I just flattened out my stomach and that whole waist area, and getting that separation of my upper and lower body. Like, I just feel so much more open in the front. I feel taller. I feel like I can move better, and I think that's why I'm hitting the ball further.
I was going to say that probably contributes dramatically to the golf swing.
So, yeah, it's just been I mean, fantastic for me. I'm loving it, and it's like every morning I get out of bed, I get on that block, I just need to do that, right? So yeah, it's been great, not only for my golf, but for my overall general health and well-being. The meditation part is great as well, you know. Once you get into it a bit and you're lying there and you're in the moment with that, and that's really great for golf as well. So yeah, I can't say enough about how this has helped both of us.
And I think one of the really great things about this program is, as you said, your shoulder's about 80% better, but you know what you need to do now to fix it completely.
And I can do it myself. I don't have to go somewhere else and pay somebody to do things and see how they work. I know exactly what I need to do. As things come and happen to my body, I know where to go to fix them. That's the really cool thing about this,
Totally.
And now, Quinn, like I know you dabble with golf. It's not like you take tons of time and you golf, but I mean, I remember your comment to me after the first game that you played this summer.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was never good at driving the ball for some reason. Like, it'd always go to the right. It would actually always go to the right, and it would never really go far. I could shank it and whatnot. So.
Ooh, don't say that word. Sorry.
Is that
That's a bad word for golfers.
Bad
Oh no.
I'm learning every day. So yeah, I went like my first golf round. It was in this charity golf tournament, and I couldn't believe it. It was my first swing of the year, and I didn't even take any like practice drives, and it went straight and far. Like, I was blown away. I'm like, that's my first time I've ever witnessed this. And I kept doing it, and it kept happening. And of course, not all the time, I'm no pro or anything, but I was totally blown away by how that happened. And yeah, just my whole game improved. And then I was like, what is it? Because I've been doing block therapy for over 3 years now, and I'm like, so what is that next step? Like, why am I getting better? Why am I improving? And I'm like, it has to be this. Like, there's no other way. So I found that really cool and really beneficial.
So why don't we discuss the 4 days of our program, because we wanted to make this, again, really accessible, really efficient. We all know that everybody's super busy, so we wanted to compress everything to a 15-minute per day program that is really going to optimize the results for the golfer. Again, this is all about your health from my perspective, but when it comes to the golf game, we tailored everything within 4 days to really target the things that are most necessary to, you know, have that great drive. So Quinn, I'm going to have you do a little bit of demonstration so people can just really see how simple it is to do this program. Because again, a lot of people think like, why am I going to lie on a piece of wood? Is that not going to hurt so much? I can share with you that it doesn't. And the great thing is that you're in control of how much pain you allow, and that's all part of the journey, part of the education. So the nice thing is nobody's going to force you to do anything. This is all about persuading your tissue to melt. So there's no rushing, there's no worry of injury, because we're actually taking our time and we're being very conscious with our breathing in order to do this. So Barry, when we chose how to do our first day, we decided to target the rib cage. So Quinn, I'm just going to get you to lie on one of your side rib positions, just so people can see how simple this is to do truly. So when we were deciding to do this as day one, from the perspective of the golf swing, why is it so important that we make sure that the restrictions between the ribs are melted and free?
Well, it deals first of all with the setup posture, you know, allowing you to get into a good setup so that your back is spread, your shoulders are spread, you're in good alignments so that you can turn and move and swing the golf club freely. You know, if you're in bad starting posture, if you're collapsed, if you're tight, maybe your posture's bad and you're hunching forward in that, it's very, very difficult to make a good free swing. You can't turn back and through the ball very well.
Right.
And really, that's the whole essence of the swing. You know, being able to rotate back and through and let your arms swing around your body a little bit more in body rotation. And if you're, you know what, if you can't get set up properly, if you can't move properly up through there, you got no chance.
And Quinn, how does this feel to you?
Well, for me, I don't really feel much pain yet because I've been doing this for a long time.
You've been doing it for a while.
For a long time. But it's very grounding. Like, once you get on the block, you kind of understand it and get it. And it's funny because initially you feel pain, and some people will be kind of scared of that. But you'll notice the pain will start to go away, and you'll automatically want to find more. It's weird. It's like, why do we want to continue looking for pain? But it feels right. Once you're in it, you're like, I know this is the right thing to do. And then you breathe through the pain, then you notice the pain starts to subside, and then you get deeper in the restrictions and release those adhesions to create more range of motion and mobility in where we're working now, so in the rib cage.
And I think the reason that we're drawn to continue to find more pain is because this is what connects us to the meditative component of block therapy. When we're focused in our tissue, combined with our breath, as is part of the instruction, we're taken out of our thinking. So we're not thinking crazy thoughts anymore like we typically do. We're grounded in our body, and that brings a sense of peace and calm within.
Deanna, could you explain a little bit more about the breathing part? Because Quinn is not just lying on the block, right?
Yes.
And kind of breathing normally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So really the reason that block therapy came to be is because I understood that nobody is breathing properly. And when we breathe with the diaphragm muscle, which is a plate of muscle just at the base of the rib cage, we feed the body 6 times the oxygen compared to when we breathe through the muscles of the upper chest. So, I mean, from the perspective of being an athlete, you know, if we're going to be working our muscles, the first and foremost nutrient that every cell requires to function properly is oxygen. And we have this mechanism inside our body to pull the optimal amount in for every cell to function, yet we're not using it properly. And the challenge is that over time, with unconscious posture and breathing injuries, stress, surgeries, all these things that, you know, we acquire in our lifetime, we literally collapse our rib cage into the core, and we block our ability to use that diaphragm muscle properly. So we start breathing through the muscles of the upper chest, and that really is starving our cells. So that's why we age. Not only does it affect our physical ability to do work, but it also is the reason that pain, aging, disease start to come into the body. It changes the chemistry of what's going on in the body. So again, not only is this going to improve your golf game, it's actually going to take time out of your tissue. It's going to make you feel so amazing. It's going to make you look younger, sleep better, have more energy. There's so many benefits. And right now, Quinn is directly on top of the liver. Fatty liver disease is a really, really common issue on the rise for people. And this one position is going to help to melt those fats that are stuck in the liver, because combined with proper diaphragmatic breathing, when that internal muscle is moving up and down in the body, it's creating a massaging effect of the organs, as well as combining that with lying on the block. There's heat added in there. So butter at room temperature is a solid. You put it in a frying pan, it becomes a liquid. We need fats in our body. Our brain, our lymphatic system, every nerve in the body is lined with fat. So if we don't have enough fat in our system, it's going to cause us to accumulate problems as we age. So it's not about, we have a really confused idea about what makes us fat. And it's not fat that makes us fat. It's compression and becoming toxic that makes our cells expand. So this is the reason that even though you didn't need to lose weight, you lost 8 pounds, you got rid of a bunch of garbage. Mm-hmm. And did you notice that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got rid of a lot of garbage every day.
Doesn't that feel amazing to know that it's not inside your body anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing to know that you have that much inside of you too.
It's
that
crazy.
Shouldn't be there. Yeah.
I know.
Well, you know what they say. I'm gonna gross all of you out. I always say this in my classes, but the average person dies with up to 50 to 80 pounds of dead fecal matter in their system.
I know.
So we're ridding that out of the body, and you can only imagine how that adds to your size and to your weight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So in day 1, we have 5 positions that we do to cover this first day. And again, it's all about working through the rib cage to create that awesome fluid swing. So then we get into day 2. And we get into the lower body and that rooting component. So Quinn, why don't you demonstrate a hip flexor position? And Barry, why don't we talk about the reason that we chose this as day 2 in our golf program?
Well, you know, your core has to be stable when you swing the golf club. Your hips have to be flexible. Your lower back has to be strong and flexible. And you rotate around those hips, and those hips rotate through the swing, and you need that stability when you're swinging the golf club back and through. And if you don't have that, if your hip flexors are tight, your back is sore and tight, you're not going to rotate through your core, swing the golf club.
Right.
And all kinds of things happen. Like, you know, you start the common out to in swing on the downswing, because this can't move effectively. Shoulders and upper body get too active and get out ahead of the body, and you're swinging the club from out to in through the golf ball.
So I want to share first of all why it is that we fall out of alignment and we lose that flexibility over time. So I'm just going to stand up here and my head might be cut off, but that's okay for this one purpose here. So I just want to share that most people, when we're sitting and standing, we don't use proper posture. We tend to shift over to one side. We're dominant on one side of the body. We hyperextend our legs. We shift over, and our pelvis tilts and falls out of alignment. Over the course of our lifetime, we actually seal our body in an incorrect position. And the fascia, it's incredible if you think about it, it will hold and seal us out of alignment with a force up to 2,000 pounds per square inch. It's crazy. When you see people standing like a duck or walking like a duck, that's an indicator that the hip flexor, right where Quinn is working, has shortened. And that's going to be pulling the low back out of alignment. So anybody with chronic low back pain, your hip flexor muscles are a huge component in this. So this is one of the 5 positions that we choose in the second day to make sure that we have that freedom in the pelvis as well as the grounding in the pelvis. So not only are you learning how to use the block, you're also learning a little bit about what's proper posture and how to integrate that into your golf game.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I noticed immediate improvement right away, you know, doing the belly one and then doing this one for my back. It was unbelievable.
Now, of course, Quinn is taking this to a bit of a higher level,
Exotic
which
level.
is really great because, again, like with block therapy, it doesn't matter where you're starting from. You can be like Quinn's grandfather, Ron Castellane, 86 years old. He does block.
Yeah,
he's a phenomenal golfer, and he knows that the block is helping keeping his body the way it should be, so he can continue at 86 to be an amazing golfer. So whether you're out of shape to begin with, whether you haven't stepped foot on a golf course, if it's your intention, this is really going to help your body. And because of the way it's instructed, you take it at the pace that you feel comfortable with, and that's all part of the instruction. So again, you can be a super athlete or you can be a couch potato, and this is going to benefit you and help your body immensely.
Well, that's the thing I liked about it too, because when I do get those periods of pain, I don't feel like doing anything. And anything I do is pretty hurtful.
Yes.
So now I can get on this, I can keep doing this on a daily basis, and suddenly I get relief. I can work through that pain and get back into alignment, and away I go again. You know?
And Quinn, take it down a notch. So you can see that Quinn is literally just hanging out on the block here. If you do nothing and you simply lie on it as it is instructed, you're going to be getting those benefits. So you can be like, I'm personally a lazy person, but I'll lie on my block for 2 hours watching a movie because I don't have to do anything. Your body weight and gravity and the block are doing all the work. So once you learn that basic instruction of proper breathing, that's really all you have to do. And then the block is going to take care of your body.
Yeah, it's amazing. I still vividly remember that first day I met you, and I was pretty scared and skeptical getting on that block because I was pretty sore.
Yeah.
I had a lot of pain and I wasn't moving too good, and I could barely get down on the ground to get on it. But by the time I, finished with it 5-10 minutes later, I couldn't believe it. I could hear and feel my back kind of popping and realigning, and I got up and I felt like, geez, you know what? What's going on here? Like, I felt great.
And the nice thing too is if you do have trouble getting to the floor, you can do this, you can start on a bed.
Yeah.
You can go at your own pace to make this really safe and comfortable for you. And the one thing I have to say about us as a team, we are here to help you. If you have questions along the way, we are always present to make sure that your needs are looked after, because it's our intention to just, make everybody on this planet feel super good and super healthy. So then we get into our third day. And this is actually my favorite day because we start dealing with separation. So you talk about that a little bit.
Well, to swing effectively, to swing easily with consistency and with power, we need lots of separation between upper body and lower body. We need lots of coordination between upper body and lower body. And most people don't have that. When they swing the club back, to load the club on the backswing, they overturn, they over-rotate, they either stand up or they lose their balance to the right, and their friends say, oh, keep your head down, keep your head still, and all that stuff. And then they can't, because you know what? Their body just won't move for that way.
So Quinn, why don't you demonstrate the anterior abdominal position?
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about this separation. So this position, you go ahead.
Yeah, well, so we had it on the hip flexor earlier, so that was lower than this bone here, your ASIS bone. So we're just having it just above now to create that separation here. So this is actually my left lower abdomen.
Yeah, this is cool because this way you can actually, you'll open up your body more and you'll be able to swing the golf club back, keeping your legs fairly stable. You know, you'll have a fairly stable core. You know, you're not a robot. Your hips are going to turn in that, but you're going to be able to load the club properly so that you're turning this more than this and you're staying stable over the golf ball.
And the reason that you know, we chose this being one of the positions in this day is because, again, over time people fall in. So when we fall into that core space, we lose space in the core, so we become super compressed. And I find often the goal here is to not have the block touching either your hip bone or your rib cage, but most people when they start, it's going to be above that hip bone. They're going to be on those ribs because of the collapse. So it's all about creating that separation so that we can lift the ribs up and out of the way, get back to proper breathing, get those organs positioned properly so they can function, so that we stay healthy, we digest properly, we eliminate properly. As well, this is going to make your core look nice and flat, which, again, who doesn't want that? We're all searching for that elusive hourglass figure, that flat belly, and this is a phenomenal way to do that. Now, this is a bit of a different day because we only do 3 block positions, but then we add in a little bit of strengthening rotation while you're on the block. Because not only do we want to have that range of motion, we also want the strength. And that's not something that we focus on very much in our daily life with action. We don't symmetrically create strength in that way. So that's part of what the education in day 3 is, which is an exciting day.
Yes.
And it's functional strength.
Yes.
You know, functional strength for living and for your golf game, because you'll be amazed how much speed and how much power you pick up without swinging the club harder. Less is more, and you'll actually swing the club faster because you're swinging it more efficiently.
And wasn't it the very, very first person that purchased our program? Wasn't that what he said? He was on, you share? Yeah,
well, Pierre came to us, he had back issues and that, and he got into the program, and right away he noticed way more power. He's hitting the ball farther. He was kind of complaining to me a little bit about, you know what, now my irons are going like a club longer, and I'm going over the green, and I'm losing, you know what, I'm kind of losing a little bit of control when I'm swinging the golf club, because, you know, it's moving a lot faster than he's used to, which is kind of cool. So now, you know, you can swing within yourself more, hit the ball farther, and have more control. But yeah, you know what, you will pick up some speed right away, and there will be some issues with the ball kind of flying a lot farther than you used to, but that's a good problem to have. You can adjust to that.
So, not being a golfer, I have a question. So if I didn't know anything about this and I came to you and I had a huge asymmetry in my body because I'm right-handed and I sit in front of a computer all day and I'm not conscious of my posture, and you're trying to help me with my golf swing, that must be really hard for you.
It's difficult, you know, it's because you're physically restricted. So that puts limitations on what you can do, and then that's going to put limitations on your perceptions of what you can do when you swing the golf club.
Right.
And it makes it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
So you're fighting that.
So the cool thing is again, I love your phrase, swing with ease. That's what's happening. So once you have the ease in your body, then it's easy to tailor those pieces to make your game even better.
Well, yeah, that's the cool thing. You know what? You can change, your swing will change to fit you.
Yes.
You know, you're able to get into these positions and you're able to swing a lot more freely. And it's not so forced. You know? It's all cause and effect.
And you know, one of the things I find now that I'm playing golf after been doing the block is, you know, besides the things I've already talked about, is I don't have, at the end of my round, I don't have like kind of the aches and pains and the sore feet and the achiness that I typically would always get in the past. And I'm like ready to do another 9 holes.
Wow.
I just have more energy at the end. And so for me, I think that's going to be key, because those last 3 or 4 holes can be so critical. You want to keep that energy up. You don't want to be starting getting the bogeys and double bogeys, right? You want to keep on with the pars and birdies if possible. And I just feel I have that sustained energy to carry through to that to the end of the 18 holes.
And the eagles.
And the eagles.
maybe the odd hole.
I know what an eagle is because of Gramps. Yeah. My dad. I used to watch a lot of golf with him. But.
And I've gotten almost 2 holes in ones this year.
Have you?
Not yet. I've never had one, and I'm still, you know, hoping. But I'm getting closer and closer. Like the swings are just getting better and better.
Oh, fantastic! So yeah, day 3 was actually a really awesome day because it's a little bit different. But then we get to day 4, and then we start to target the shoulder joints. So why don't you share with what?
Yeah, well, that's key for supporting the golf club when you swing. You know, you're gonna have that swing radius where the club is supported through your lats and shoulders. You know, the mythical, straight arm on the backswing.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of position. Well, you want arm extension when you swing the golf club back and through the ball. And if your shoulders are weak and tight, your lats are tight, you can't do that.
So
it's almost impossible.
Here's one of the great positions that we have added into this day is this armpit position. Yeah. And again, we instruct you on how to move through it so that you can optimize the release of all those restrictions. Yeah. But yeah, what a beautiful day this is for that. And when we're teaching live classes, it's always fun because we'll do one side and then we'll have people lift their arms up, and inevitably everyone is like this because they've released this. And then when we do the other end and we get it like this, it's amazing how fast the restrictions and the change in your range of motion in your shoulder, because we are getting right into the joint space deep where those restrictions are holding us, where we don't even realize that we have problems. And another cool thing about block therapy is just that. It makes us aware of what we're not actually aware of. You know, the fascia, the connective tissue in the body will grip to bone. So if it's gripping to bone, it's literally holding your joint in that position, and we don't feel it that deep. As we go through the block though, and we make those cells more aware and we awaken everything, we start to sense, wow, like this is hooked on to here. So you become really intuitive with your own body, and you start to understand what's going on in yourself. So you become your own health expert, which is really the point, because nobody else can tell you how you feel. So this is going to teach you how to interpret what you're feeling, though. So that's why this is so great, because this program lifelong will benefit your health. And truly, it is anti-aging, because it's all about gravity is what compresses us, causing pain, aging, and disease. So if we can minimize or eliminate that force through the full conscious exhalation, which is part of the teaching, then we can go through time without our tissue compressing, without it accumulating those side effects of what we consider to be normal aging. We don't have to age the way that we think we have to. We can actually reverse a lot of what time is done by working with this process.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? You know, the great Satchel Paige quote. Like it's just.
Sometimes I feel still 4.
Just because you're getting old in numbers doesn't mean you have to get old.
That's right.
You can feel great every day, and Quinn's grandfather, he shoots his age almost every day. He breaks his age like it's a normal affair for him.
Wow,
he's carrying his bag around the golf course, and he's 86. Like, it's mind blowing to watch him.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So
I golfed with him this year, and he was the only one out of 4 of us carrying his clubs.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Like,
lying.
What were you doing?
I had a police.
He's riding a cart drinking beer, probably.
Probably. Oh, too funny.
But age is just a number. That's it. You know what? If you're doing something like this, you know what? You don't have to age. Your body's going to feel great all the time.
Well, and my grandpa tells me all the time, like, without me even saying this, he's like, I feel taller. Like, I think I'm actually taller. And he's 86, and he's shooting in the 80s still with golf. And he's like,
amazing.
I just feel more aligned. Like, the ball's going farther now. Like, I can carry my clubs, and I don't fatigue as fast. I'm like, this is incredible. Like, for anyone for that to happen to. But for an 86-year-old, I think it's just mind-boggling. It's amazing.
He doesn't look like he's past 70. Like, he is just true.
He looks
You
great.
got some good genes there.
I do.
From both sides.
From both sides.
Cool. So with this program now, you get these 4 days, plus you get the DVD, which covers the whole body. And we've given you instruction on how to optimize the program. But then we've also thrown in a couple of extra added benefits, because people do hurt themselves in life. Back pain and shoulder pain being really, really common. So with this, you're also getting a chronic back pain ebook and a shoulder pain ebook with this program. And that's just about a 40-minute guided specific program to cover all the areas if you're struggling with specific pain. So again, this is a really complete, beautiful program. And it's tomorrow night that we're going to be having our webinar to share more about the program, to go into more depth about, you know, all that it entails, as well as to talk a little bit more about block therapy. And I'm just so excited. And again, thank you guys for wanting to be part of this, because again, as I mentioned, I know nothing about golf, and it's just so exciting to connect with the right people to put everything together, because that's what it's all about. It's a collaboration of, you know, what's going to work so that we can really make this awesome for you.
And another thing, maybe just, you know, we might want to add is about, you know, why this is the right time to be looking at this program, right?
Great.
Barry, why don't you?
Well, as we know in Winnipeg, in these areas, we got a bit of winter here.
It's Thanksgiving.
Especially if you're, you know, especially if you're a golfer, you know, it's pretty frustrating to kind of shut everything down and, you know, watch the blizzards go by the window and, you know, dealing with 30, 40 below, and you're getting frustrated with that. And the off season, you know what? It's a wonderful time to kind of keep working on your golf game, keep working on your body. You have the time, you know. You don't have the issues with going out to, you know, play golf and, oh, I'm worried about my score because I'm changing my technique and all that business. You know what? You can do that in the off season, so that when you come out in the spring, it's like you've never left it, and away you go. You know, you're not reinventing the wheel every time.
Right.
You know, you just pick up and go, like, geez, my swing feels, geez, I feel good. First day out, wham, I'm playing okay again. You know, and you pick up the pieces and away you go again. You know, so the off season's a perfect time for this.
Yeah, and this is also great for the snowbirds too. I mean, so many people travel south in the winter because they want to go play golf to get away from here because they can't play golf here, right?
Yeah.
And the great thing about the block, man, it's easy to pack in your suitcase. You know, it doesn't weigh very much. You take it with you. I mean, you get into the program now, so you're ready to play golf when you go south.
Yeah.
Then you've got the block with you too. And you're doing it every day while you're still down south playing golf. I mean, there's just no excuses not to be on the block.
Block's my drug. You know what? I'm super busy, 2 businesses, running around like an idiot in the summertime and stuff. You know what? I've got 10, 15 minutes every morning.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, it's just part of our routine. You know, I don't have to go to the gym for 2 hours.
Exactly.
You know, it's done.
You're saving so much time.
Yeah.
And because it's a therapy, meditation, and exercise all built into this very simple to do practice, you're getting so much in this concentrated period of time that benefits you, and your body truly, truly will thank you for it. Mm-hmm. Now, do we have any questions?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. First time doing Facebook Live, so.
All right, I'm just gonna get nice and close here.
It is fun.
Oh.
So by the way,
Cool.
everybody, happy Thanksgiving. If you're Canadian, it's Turkey Day today, although I indulged last night.
Where is block therapy located?
It's
Well,
everywhere.
it's everywhere. It's an
Virtual.
online program. So we're based in Winnipeg, Canada, but block therapy is an online program. So everything, blocktherapy.com is the website if you want to learn more about block therapy. But tomorrow night again, tomorrow at 7 Central, we're going to be having our webinar to go through that. And if anybody's interested in getting there, Quinn, what's the best way for people to find that link to register for the webinar?
Oh, I'll be adding it onto the Facebook right after.
Blockforgolf.com, right? That's the landing page. So if anybody wants to register for the webinar tomorrow night, blockforgolf.com.
Yeah.
And again, Quinn will be posting that. And with that webinar, there's going to be some great bonuses that we're going to be adding in, a free gift and some bonuses for people that show up and that are on the webinar. And again, it's an avenue for people to ask live questions as well. So you know, any other questions that come up, we can be doing that.
Totally.
And local golfers, I'm here, St. Patel Golf Center. I've always got a block around, and if you want to come check it out and ask questions, you know what, I'm always available. So.
Yeah, as are we. We want to make this really easy and accessible for people to learn all about it and to have access to it.
Yeah, and sorry, this is a little off topic. So I get questions about this quite frequently because we're talking a lot about the webinar tomorrow. It's not like an in-person event. It's not a seminar. A webinar is actually, it's all virtual. It's on your computer. You have a link, and then we'll be doing a presentation on the screen, and then you can hear, and then eventually you can type and ask questions and whatnot. So again, I'll be putting that link below or in a post right after, so on the Facebook page. You just click it, register, and then you're set to go for tomorrow night.
But Block Fore Golf, Fore is Fore.
Or yeah, sorry. Or you can just
blockforgolf.com.
yeah, very easy. Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted.
That's okay.
Yeah, remember there's the E in the Fore.
That's
Block
right.
Fore with an E golf.
We're trying to be clever.
Yeah. Block Fore
I think it's very clever.
So, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think that's it, you know, like,
Other than we hope, everybody can join us at the webinar tomorrow
Totally.
because you're going to learn a lot more and it's going to
Yeah.
be fun and
you know what,
yeah.
it feels good to feel good.
yeah.
Feels good to feel good.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us and for being part of our very first Facebook Live event. So there's going to be a lot of these in the near future coming up.
Yeah.
So keep posted. Happy Thanksgiving and
Happy
have a
Thanksgiving.
wonderful day.
Swing with ease,
Swing
have some
with
fun,
ease.
we'll see you on the
Bye.
golf course.
Awesome. All right.